The following game is being played with History Maker Baseball Express, a product of Play Games LLC, copyright 2022, all rights reserved. If you would like to order a copy of History Maker Baseball Express, or if you would like to check out the other products offered from Play Games, please click on the link provided in the description box below. So we get set for game 2 of this best 5-game series between the 1927 Yankees and their counterparts from 2012. Your pitching matchup for game 2 will be Hiroki Kuroda going for the 2012 Yanks, and Urban Shocker will oppose for the 1927 Yankees. With that being said, let's get to it. As the lineups have been exchanged in home plate, and Babe Ruth lead things off here for the 1927 Yankees. With a 2.35, is Kuroda a star pitcher? He is a semi-star. The decider die says he is not a star, and that's going to be a stat sack check on Babe Ruth. He is not a stat sack, so that's going to end up being a -1 for black die if Kuroda has flash for the men on base result, and he does have flash, so that is going to end up being taking from a black die 2 to a black die 1, as we will place Babe Ruth on it first with a 1 and a 3, and it's going to be an official scorer's decision. As we will re-roll the decider die here, and it will be an error committed by the shortstop, as it is a 6 on my D10. Or excuse me, A9, I should say. Maybe it was a 6, maybe it was a 9, but either way, the shortstop or the right fielder will commit the error. I will leave who committed the error down in the middle box, down in the middle space between the scoreboard and or it'll show up on screen now to see who got the error. Anyway, Babe Ruth gets on base. Being an error, a certain fielder cannot make the play, and he is safe at first. We go to Lou Gehrig for the men on base turn. And I read the black and blue dice as such of an 11 batting team harmony or pitching team dissonant. Well, the pitching team is dissonant, so that will be a single, and that'll put the runner on first and second as Babe Ruth moves up 90 feet to make room for the first hit of the game going to Lou Gehrig. Here's Bob Musial. 24. I was correct. 24. Gold fielder makes the out. Nick Swisher is not a gold fielder, so that's going to advance. Everyone advances 90 feet, and the bases are loaded as it'll be an E9 for Nick Swisher. The men on base chart here. And we continue the roll off the men on base chart with Hiroki Kuroda facing Tony Lazzeri with a 46. Same reliever gets the strikeout. We do have a righty-righty matchup. It is going to end up being a strikeout to strand the bases loaded, and the 1927 Yankees will come away with nothing as they strand 3 men on base to in their half of the first, and now we head to the bottom half of the first, and the 2012 Yanks will now take their turns. Here's Raul Ibanez to lead it off for the 2012 Yankees. 356 is Shocker a workman pitcher? No, he is not. Is Ibanez a champion batter? No, he is not. So that's going to end up being a no runs result with a chance for a solo home run. The decider die says no for the home run, so it's going to be a no runs result of 6 dot to end the first inning. And we have a scoreless tie going into the second inning here at Yankee Stadium, number 2, for game 2 of this best of 5 game set. Mike Gazella will lead things off with a 1-1-6. Is Kuroda a struggler pitcher? No, he is not. Is Gazella a utility batter? No, he is not. That's going to end up being an RBI question mark result. However, the decider die says no RBI, and it will be a no runs result of 1 dot to end the middle half of the to end the top half of the second. And the score remains 0-0, 0-0, as we head to the bottom half of the second. And Ichiro Suzuki lead things off for the 2012 Yanks in the bottom half of the second. 1-3-4. Is Shocker an ace pitcher? No, he is not. Is Ichiro a champion batter? He is a semi-champion. However, the decider die says he is not. Ooh, excuse me. So that is going to be ending up being a no runs result of 4 blank to end the second inning here at Yankee Stadium number 2 with the score deadlocked at 0. We go now to the top half of the third. 2-3-4 with Johnny Grabowski up at the plate for the 1927 Yankees, and it asks, is Kuroda not fresh? Well, he is still fresh, so the decider die was not used so far. Is Johnny Grabowski a stat sack batter? He is not, so that's going to end up being a min on base result, -1 for black die of control, and it looks like Hiroki Kuroda does have control, so it's going to end up being putting the runners either on first and second or putting the runner on third. Well, as you know, as they always say, earn your runs the hard way. They're going to put the runners on at first and second for the 1927 Yankees, and it will be back-to-back singles for Johnny Grabowski off of my homebrew optional men on base narrative chart. Here's Cedric Durst to lead off on the men on base chart for the 1927 Yankees. And I read the black and blue dice as such of a 23. Eager grounds out. Cedric Durst is an eager batter, so that is going to be a ground out to end the third inning here, or excuse me, in the top half of the third for the 1927 Yanks as the score remains deadlocked at 0 apiece. We head to the bottom half of the third, and Russell Martin will lead off here for the 2012 New York Yankees. 1-3-3. See, I do apologize for the glare. 1-3-3. Is Shocker an ace pitcher? No, he is not. Is Russell Martin a stat sack batter? He is a semi-stat sack. The decider die says he is, Russell Martin is a semi-stat sack batter. The decider die says he is a stat sack. So that is going to end up being a no-run result of 1 dot to end the third inning here at Yankee Stadium number 2 with your score deadlocked at 0 apiece. And Kuroda back out to the mound here in the top half of the fourth, facing off against Earl Combs. 1-1-2. Is Kuroda an ace pitcher? No, he is not. Is Combs a sad sack batter? No, he is not. So that's going to end up being an RBI question mark result. And the decider die says, you, Mr. Earl Combs, get the RBI, and the 1927 Yankees take a 1-0 lead here in the top half of the fourth. And we will now decide what the outcome of the RBI result was for Earl Combs. Dot is a hit or sacrifice, or blank is an error off of my homebrew RBI question mark and / micro RBI, micro chart RBI results homebrew narrative chart. And it'll be a hit or sacrifice. So it looks like it's going to be a home run reading the blue die. You can do, and again, you can use any die that you want, but for this turn, I will be using what makes sense since there's no one on base. So Earl Combs will hit a solo home run, and the 1927 Yankees currently lead their counterparts from 2012 by a score of 1-0 here at Yankee Stadium number 2, with the series in favor of the 1927 Yankees by a similar score of 1-0. We head to the bottom half of the fourth, and Derek Jeter, the captain, will lead it off for the 2012 Yanks. And it reads, a 2-5-6. Is Shocker a workman pitcher? No, he is not. Is Derek Jeter a sad sack batter? No, he is not. That is going to end up being a men on base result, -1 for black die if the pitcher has flash. Unfortunately, Urban Shocker does not have flash, so that is going to put the runner on second base, and it will be a 2 and a 6. That's going to be a double for Derek Jeter off my optional men on base, homebrew optional men on base narrative chart, as I am collecting stats throughout the project. And Curtis Granderson will lead it off on the men on base chart for the 2012 Yanks. I read the black and blue dice as such of a 24. Gold fielder makes the out. Mark Koenig is not a gold fielder, so that is going to end up being an error, and a runner will advance one base, and the batter, Granderson, will be safe at first base. 2012 Yanks starting to make a little bit of noise here at Yankee Stadium number 2. 23, Eager grounds out. Unfortunately, A-Rod does not have Eager, so that's going to load up the bases for, oh, don't you know, Robinson Cano off of the men on base chart. And before they do, let's see if the pen for the 1927 Yankees is getting loose and active as the catcher makes his way out to the mound along with the pitching coach to have a chat to see what they want to do here with the bases loaded. So is the 1927 Yankees bullpen active? They are. And they are not. So they're putting faith in Urban Shocker to get his team out of the inning with the score of 1-0. Robbie Cano rolling a 55. Batting team dissonant or pitching team harmony? Oh, and unfortunately, the 2012 Yankees are dissonant. And it looks like, oh, wait a minute. Batting team dissonant. So that means at the beginning of the game, they are semi-dissonant. So the decider die says they are not dissonant. That's going to be a single, if I'm reading that correctly. It will be a single and 2 runners advance uh, and runners on base will advance 2 bases. So we have ourselves a 2-1 lead here for the 1927, or excuse me, for the 2012 Yanks here in game number 2, as the runner on third scores, runner on second scores, runner on first goes to third, and Robinson Cano goes to first on the RBI, on the 2 RBI single to put his team up by a score of 2-1 here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. And here is Mark Teixeira rolling on the men on base chart. Again, reading the black and blue dice as such of a 56. Patient batter draws the walk. Unfortunately, Mark Teixeira is not a patient batter, so that's going to be a contact result of a red die 5. And it reads, is Mark Teixeira a champion batter? And unfortunately, he is not. So that's going to be a pop out, but not before damage was done here in the fourth inning, as the score is now tipped in the favor of the 2012 Yanks over their counterparts from 1927 by a score of 2-1. As we head to the fifth inning here at Yankee Stadium number 2, aka current Yankee Stadium. Here's Babe Ruth. 566. Is Hiroki Kuroda a star pitcher? He is a semi-star. The decider die says he is a star, so that's going to be a no-runs result of 5 dot to end the top half of the fifth to keep the score right where it is for the 2012 Yanks to for the bottom half of the fifth inning here at Yankee Stadium number 2. 133 on Swisher. Is Shocker an ace pitcher? No, he is not. Is Swisher a stat sack batter? No, he is not. That's going to be an RBI result, question mark result. However, the decider die says no RBI. That is going to be a no runs result of 1 blank to end the fifth inning here at Yankee Stadium number 2, with the score remaining as is of 2-1 in favor of the 2012 New York Yankees, as they look to tie the series up heading into game number 3. Here we go. Wild horse, Lou Gehrig, with a 4.55. Is Kuroda a workman pitcher? No, he is not. Is Lou Gehrig a utility batter? No, he is not. So that's going to be a min on base result, -1 for black die. If flash or control, Hiroki Kuroda has both flash and control, so this black die 4 will be reduced to a black die 2, putting the runner on second base, and it will be a 2 and a 5 off of my homebrew optional min on base narrative for a single and a stolen base for Raul Ibanez for his plate appearance. And here is Ichiro Suzuki to lead off for the 2012 Yanks in the bottom half of the, or excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry. It was Lou Gehrig. I'm sorry. Lou Gehrig. Sorry. My mistake. Not Ibanez. It was Gehrig who got the single and the stolen base. My bad. I thought we were in the bottom half. 6. Nope. We're in the top half. So Bob Musial, my mistake, guys. My fault. So we got it correct. Bob Musial will now lead it off on the men on base chart for the 1927 Yanks. 45. Fresh pitcher gets the ground out. And again, Kuroda is semi-fresh. The decider die says he is fresh, so that is going to be a ground out. to end the sixth inning and possibly his day here in game two as the manager of the 19, or excuse me, the manager of the 2012 Yanks is going to go back to his pen just like he did the last time. Hopefully that the 2012 Yanks can score some runs to to do so as we see some action out in the right field, or excuse me, right center field bullpen for the 2012 Yanks. Here we go with Raul Ibanez to lead things off here in the um, bottom half of the sixth inning. 1-5, 1-3-5, excuse me. Is Shocker an ace pitcher? No, he is not. Is Raul Ibanez a champion batter? No, he is not. So that's going to be a no runs result of 5 to end the sixth inning. And that'll probably be it for Hiroki Kuroda as the 2012 Yanks are going to go to the pen, and we will be taking a timeout.